Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is your girl Magic. It is like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. my time. But we're going to be doing a reading about the sunken place. And we're just going to see what comes out in the cards, what energy that we get. You know what I mean? I just kind of want to know what is the sunken place, from spirit's perspective. I definitely believe the sunken place is a real thing. Um, but I know it has like a lot of, I guess it's very controversial because I don't know if the first place it was brought up was in a movie. I forget the name of the movie, but I'm pretty sure y'all know what I'm talking about. And then Kanye West also talks about the sunken place. But I personally think that the sunken place is a real concept. It's a real thing. But we're just going to get the perspective of spirit. And it's so funny because I chose this deck, right? And if you look at the back of the deck, there is this key here. And inside of the key, this is like the universe and the moon. And the moon represents secrets. And the universe represents, like, to me, knowledge. So this is a key, right? Or a keyhole. And once you open up this, once you unlock this right here, unlock this doorway, then there's a plethora of knowledge and information that's there. And I honestly feel like that is like the whole like premise and concept behind the sunken place. You know what I mean? Because there is a doorway that has the ability to be unlocked, and there is information that is stored away there that once open there's an access to, you know what I mean, to whoever has that key, you know what I mean, to get there, to get to that space. The name of this deck is the Lunar Nomad Oracle. I really like this deck because it really, there's no borders. It's a full picture. And it's one of these decks where you can really like meditate on and come up with your own, meaning or definition or whatever. But before we get into anything, I really encourage you guys, and I really want you guys to comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think about the sunken place. Have you ever had any experience with that type of energy or that phenomenon? And what do you think about it? I would love to interact with y'all. Also, subscribe and click the like button if you don't mind. But anyways, yeah, like even like I'm just shuffling through this deck. I honestly feel like the sunken place is a doorway. And once you open up that doorway, there's an unlimited amount of things that can come up out of there. To me, personally, it's like opening Pandora's box. I have the deck, this Alice in Wonderland deck. This deck has so much energy. Oh my God, how funny is that? I forget the name of that freaking movie that really kind of put it out there in the public's eye besides like Kanye West. But wasn't like to get into the sunken place, wasn't there like a teacup or whatever coffee, and they're like stirring, and the guy gets under hypnosis or whatever? Like, that's so crazy. Like, I did not even plan this out, but I obviously we're already picking up on the energy of the sunken place. I have to find out what that movie is called. Hold on, I need to Google it. Blah, 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 blah. What is the name of the movie? The Sunken Place movie. Oh, Get Out. Yes, Get Out. So hilarious. Because I was like, what's the name of that movie? But let me see if I can get the image or whatever. All right, so let's pull this up. Interesting. Okay, isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy, y'all? Like we were just talking about the universe and unlocking that energy, but look at this picture. Isn't that a little creepy, y'all? But anyway, the movie is Get Out, right? And this guy is put under hypnosis, right? And basically, he is like, I want to contribute it to like almost feeling like being in dissociating almost like when a person has DID or multiple personality disorder, their main self. Okay, don't come for me, but we're just talking amongst us. This is how I can put it in words. I'm just trying to express how I'm feeling. But people with multiple personality disorder, their main self gets suppressed, right? And the other personality comes out. They don't have like a recollection most times of the things that they do, but whoever takes on their body, and their full on consciousness, they're able to, live as them, right? But anyway, I don't know if y'all ever have had experience with dissociating. I don't have multiple personality disorder, but I definitely know what it's like to dissociate. I almost feel like living in a movie, and it's not full on dissociation, but it's like pulling yourself back from like reality for a second and kind of like taking a back seat and kind of really being in observation mode. So you don't feel like it's you acting or living, but it's kind of like you're observing yourself living. And honestly, I feel like this could be under the same lines as like possession. You know what I mean? When people get possessed by spirits or whatever the case may be, I feel like that's almost the same thing. You know what I mean? When something takes over your body and your main consciousness doesn't have access to actually use your God-given body to interact in the world, but something else has access to it and is living in your body. You know what I mean? Like it's a really, really weird concept. That's why I'm just like, I really want to like, what the heck? Okay. Anyways, I really want to like pull some cards and kind of talk about it, get into it, because I know this is kind of like, this is kind of creepy stuff, especially when you're home alone and doing this. But whatever. So, also, this makes me think of the movie The Skeleton Key. I'm pretty sure other people have made that connection, but I honestly feel, and this right here with the key in the hand, I honestly feel that nothing can like take over your body, you know what I mean, without you giving it permission. There is something to life that I always say is that everything has to be put out on the table. Everything has to be known. There's nothing that can really be like hidden from you. Like most things are hidden in plain sight. A lot of people just neglect to see the truth in a lot of things. Just like they hide a lot of like information in movies and stuff like that. People want to see it as it is fiction and it's not really real. But I feel like the number one rule to life, okay, is that things have to be told to you. I mean, because I feel like nothing can get past you without your knowledge of it and without you giving it permission. Regardless if you acknowledge that or not, some way, shape, or form, you give things permission, you know what I mean, to kind of unfold in your life, to happen in your life. Like, you give it, you know, permission. So that's why I say, like, I'm connecting that to this key being in the hand the way it is, because it's like, kind of like, I give you the key to me to have permission to use, you know, I don't even want to say it like that, but you know what I mean, to use, to have your vessel, you know, used by something other than yourself. Like, you have to give whatever that energy is permission to do so. But it also, like, it reminds me of the skeleton key. And I'm not really big on movies, but I don't know if y'all remember in that movie, this lady, she went to go take care of this, I don't know if it was an old man or old woman, but she went to go take care of this elderly person, and it was like in this big ass, creepy ass house, right? There's a card in this deck, and I saw it before this one here. She went to a house almost like this, a big creepy ass house, right, to go take care of this elderly person. And I mean, she was given warning signs and warning signs throughout the whole damn movie, right? But she decided to stay there and stick it out. To me, that's like the same thing as giving something permission. Like, you know what I mean? Like, spirit can only give you so much a warning until they're like, okay, you obviously are going to, you know, deal with this regardless of what we say, regardless of our input, regardless of your best, of your better judgment. So whatever happens at this point happens. Like, I honestly feel like that's what it is. Like, you definitely, there is a point of like giving something permission. This card also has been like popping up a lot, like as I've just been shuffling and stuff like this. And this is almost like a self-sacrifice. You know what I mean? You're sacrificing your body to some other energy, some other entity to live through you. It's literally, legitimately a self-sacrifice. And it's almost in a way like death, right? As we know it, death is like, I feel like not the ultimate sunken place, but where consciousness is really stripped from the body. You know what I mean? And I don't feel like being in a sunken place is not to that extreme, but it's partially that. You know what I mean? Like, you have to die to the self to allow that other energy to, you know, really be able to connect, you know, with the human body. Almost like, I don't know, it's almost like astral projection. I don't know if y'all ever like looked into astral projection, but astral projection, like they say like there's this silver cord that's attached to your body, and you need that silver cord to return to your body once you detach from it. But when you do astral project, and I haven't done it. I haven't done too much studying on it, but we're just talking here. Like, you leave your body like open to other energies, other entities to enter it, right? But I don't know. This is all like, you know, speculation. This is all, you know, hearsay, whatever. We just talking. I don't know. Tell me what y'all think. Like, I'm just like coming up with these different like situations and scenarios in my head as I like think about, you know, the topic of damn. What are we talking about? The sunken place. Yeah, the sunken place. And what do you think? Okay, so since we're on the topic of the sunken place, like, what do you think? Do you think, okay, like, I don't know, I don't really follow Kanye West and stuff like that, but he talks about the sunken place a lot, and a lot of people have, like, accused or assumed that he's in a sunken place, and he most definitely kind of could be. He acts, like, really weird, to be honest with you. I think a lot of these celebrities are not necessarily who they say they are or who they are portrayed to be. Um, there's a lot of like people on YouTube that talk about like like cloning, or like these people are how do I say it? Like bred for this, you know what I mean? Like famous people aren't necessarily real, you know what I mean? Like they are like almost like I don't know, I don't know what the correct term for this is, but if y'all know, please correct me. But like these bodies are cloned, consciousness is put into these bodies. These people who are cloned, where consciousness is put into these bodies, they are created to entertain the world, and it's like this whole storyline behind it. So it's almost like the reality that we see on TV, the reality that we see that's around us, is not necessarily like real. It's fabricated. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? It's so crazy because I'm hearing like all kinds of sounds as we like talk about this. See, like this kind of, to me, this card, this moon card, almost reminds me of like the term MK Ultra is coming to my mind. And I don't know if y'all have heard of that, but I guess the military, that's like some sort of military technology. But anyway, this is almost getting crossing the lines of conspiracy theory, whatever. I enjoy a good conspiracy theory. But anyway, this kind of reminds me of like an MK Ultra, like where a person's mind can be controlled to the point where they do things or act in a certain way that they normally necessarily wouldn't act in. Like, I don't know, like that just depicts that this really screams that like this person is their own person, but there's a bigger energy, a bigger entity, a bigger source controlling how this person thinks and how this person acts and how they interact with the other people around them. Also have these mushrooms, these magical mushrooms. If y'all have ever been on shrooms, like it's a real eye-opening experience. Like things seem so much more larger than life. Like the way you view things, like it brings so much more depth to your perception. And it's something that really changes the way you think or you view life after the fact. But anyway, that's just like a side note. But yeah, this really does remind me of MK Ultra, and like MK Ultra, like that concept is almost like a sunken place too, where you're acting in a way that you wouldn't normally act because somebody is controlling you. Like, I don't know. We're just talking. We are just talking here. But I don't know, Spirit, what do you have to say about the sunken place? Is it a real place? Is it a real thing? And this is so funny. Like these two, this man and this woman, right? This takes me back to the skeleton key. And I think like Papa Justify and his wife, they have been reusing bodies to like put their consciousness into so they can stay young forever. This kind of reminds me of that same energy. Like, so freaking weird, right? It's so weird. So weird. Yeah, I'm getting like real heavy, like skeleton key type energy. All right, Spirit, any other information that we can get from this deck, Spirit? Any other information we can get from this deck surrounding, you know, the sunken place? Look at that. Same thing as this one, right? Like, same freaking energy. Same freaking energy. Like, just like a controlling of the mind. You know what I mean? You being, the body being free to anything and everything to possess it. You know what I mean? Like, the body technically is really just a vessel when you think about it at the end of the day. Like, we get so attached to a body. And like, with a lot of the death that's been happening, you know, in the world, I just feel like, or just death in general, right? Like, once a person passes, because I work in the medical field, so I see a lot of people die, like in real time. And it's just so different. You know what I mean? The body looks so different when there's not that consciousness, not that energy is not inside of the body. And even those people who are like on like life support, who really are brain dead, there is like a difference. You know what I mean? There's like a physical difference between someone who is consciously alive and someone who is not. And I'm not just talking about someone who's in a coma either. That is so different, because people who are in a coma, they're in and out of reality, right? But people who are brain dead, there's nothing there. And they look so much more similar to someone who's actually passed. But the only reason why they look alive is because, you know, medical intervention, them being like intubated and stuff like that. But there's just something different. Once the energy or spirit leaves the body, it's literally just a vessel. So with the body being just a vessel, that means it can be inhabited or inhabited by anything, and cohabited by anything. Like, and that goes back to like being spirit possessed or whatever, or possessions, or like even like I even feel like when people speaking in tongues, I know somebody's gonna say that's like two totally different things, but when people are speaking in tongues, they're not necessarily consciously aware of what they're saying. Okay, there's something speaking through them. Or people who even like channeling, even tarot card reading. At some point in time, you are allowing something to cohabitate in your consciousness, in your vessel, in your space. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important, like, the things you listen to, you know what I mean? The people that you surround yourself with, the music you listen to, like all of those different things are spells, they're incantations, they are sigils, especially a lot of like the logos and stuff. Like, that's a whole nother different topic. But that's why you really got to be careful the things that you surround yourself with, and allow yourself to be kind of like open yourself up to. I don't know, really crazy, right? Oh my God, but all of this is allegedly, okay? We're just talking. I don't want to piss nobody off. But we're just talking, right? We are just talking. This is just chit chat. So, Spirit, what else do you have to say about that's too many. I don't want to take that. What else do you have to say about the sunken place? What else do you have to say about the sunken place, Spirit? I should have pulled that card, because now something is coming to my mind. What else do you have to say about the sunken place, Spirit? Let's see. Oh, let's see. Ooh. Ah, at the bottom of the deck, the seer. I mean, this is like, honestly, anybody who does like channeling, anybody who is a psychic, or, you know what I mean, dibbles and dabbles in anything like that, they are literally, you know, opening up their consciousness, you know, for other energies to come through and speak through them. You know what I mean? Like, these are, you know what I mean? Like, this may not be the whole, like, sunken place situation, but these are different. I feel like these are different forms of the concept of a sunken place. Like, all these different things can kind of go under one umbrella. That's what I feel like the sunken place is, or like the concept of it is like a whole umbrella of like things. Um, yeah, shears. I feel like the only difference between death and the sunken place is that you're still connected to your body, and the only way to be completely severed and to be dead is if that cord, that silver cord that they say when you astral project that you need to come back into your body, if that cord is severed, to me that represents ultimate death. You know what I mean? So there's like a fine line between, you know, being dead and being an open vessel for other energy. It's just that cord hasn't been cut indefinitely. I don't know. This one's been definitely screaming to me, this familiar spirit. Also, I feel like, I mean, this may not be it, but this can go into the lines of like reincarnation. Like, look at this. Like, when you really look at this looks like a person or an actual spirit inhabiting like this cat. And I always, like, when I look at my cat sometimes looks like a little person. But remember Sabrina? Like Sabrina, like her cat, I forget what's his name, Salem. Like, he was a legit a person, right? That was turned into a cat. That's almost like a sunken place situation too. He is in he's in the vessel of a cat, and that poor cat, his little consciousness is probably somewhere like in his body. So interesting. So interesting. The stuff you can get out of like just reading cards. I'll probably pull one more card. Okay. So this comes back up again. We've already talked about that. Let's talk about this fish card, or the sea. The sea is a whole different world, okay? Like, this reminds me of La Sirene. You know, they say like if you work with La Sirene, sometimes she takes you underneath the sea and you can disappear for years. You know what I mean? And when you reappear, you come back with all of this knowledge, you know? I also feel like that's another form of being in a sunken place. Like, you know what I mean? Your whole existence known to man is gone. And mind you, this is, I mean, I don't know. I've never, listen, there's people in Haiti who can like definitely attest to this, what I'm saying, but I've never seen it. Sorry. I've never known or heard anybody who's like had this experience, but it's a definite saying or a thing. But you know, the ocean, the sea, that's a whole another world, a whole another concept, and it's definitely a metaphysical type space. You know what I mean? And there is a whole lot of like occult knowledge that is tied with the sea and tied with the ocean and tied with those beings down there. And I definitely feel like someone being almost like abducted or taken under. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother form of like being in the sunken place to a degree, because you're not in your normal space. You know what I mean? You're not in your normal place. You know what I mean? You've been totally overtaken by an energy, and you're in a whole different reality. It's kind of weird because like if you're ever end up in those predicaments, I guess it would be like you go with your whole body. Like I don't know how the hell that works, but I don't know. That's just what came to my mind when I thought about that. Bats. When I think about bats, I think about the darkness. You know what I mean? They live in caves. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't necessarily see, you could see a bat out in nature, but necessarily wouldn't see a bat, I guess, unless you were in a cave and they're in the dark and they thrive in the dark. And once you're like in a sunken place, like your consciousness is deep down within you. It's in a dark place. It's in a dark space. It cannot see. It cannot talk. It's this, you know what this also reminds me of? Sleep paralysis. You know what I mean? When people who are under sleep paralysis, they have their eyes open. Okay, so trip out on this. Okay, so people who are in sleep paralysis, right? You're usually able to open your eyes, or sometimes you can't open your eyes, but you can't speak, you can't talk, no one can hear you, and you feel like no one can help you. You can't move your body, you're just stuck, right? Isn't that the whole concept of this here? I mean, I haven't seen the movie in a long ass time, but he's in a place where he has his eyes open. I can't even scroll. He has his eyes open, right? And nothing but tears come out because he can't speak. He can't talk. He can't move. You know what I mean? He is subject to whatever experience that is upon him, right? Like that's kind of what I feel. That's kind of what I feel when it comes to this. Crazy shit, I swear to God. All kinds of weird stuff can come out of like when you're doing readings and stuff like that. The tree. The tree of life. That's kind of what I get out of this, obviously. I mean, duh. I'm trying to figure out like how this even plays into this whole concept, like the tree of life. Oh, knowledge. Knowledge. Because okay, the tree of life. Okay, I'm getting into a whole nother field, like the Kabbalah. Let me look up the tree of life. Hold on, y'all. I gotta get the real thing here. Tree of life. Kabbalah. Because there's another tree of life, right? Oh, God. Hold on. I just need something simple. Hold on. Let me find something I can pull up. All right. So this is like, right? This is the tree of life. Okay. And supposedly the human soul transitions through all these different like points. You know what I mean? Like Keter, what is this? Hood, Yesod, Hesed. Okay, I'm probably not even saying this right. But this is something that I was like, I've always wanted to study, but I haven't gotten too in depth with it. But this is like the tree of life, right? And usually the living is right here, right? like you have to go through so many levels to transcend. But usually people like Earth or the living is usually right here. And this, what is this called? Sakina, that's usually where the living are, right? Like you and me, if you're watching this, you're alive, right? But there's also a reverse tree. I gotta find it. Hold on. I haven't looked into this stuff in a long time, but we're gonna get into it. Reversed tree of life. What's it called? God, Jesus, I forget the name of it. What's it called? Hold on. Let me figure out get the full name because there's a name to it. Oh, the clipothic tree. Okay, so we're talking about the tree of life and the clipothic tree, right? So the whole concept is like a little bit. I don't even know how we even got into this. Don't know. I don't know. All right. So it's basically almost like the hangman card. When I see the hangman card, I often think about this. So this upward is the tree of life, and this one is the clipothic tree, right? And if humanity sits right here in Sakina, this, I forget what this other one is, but what I'm trying to get to is that if you're in the sunken place, you're more closer to the underworld than anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's knowledge to be had on both sides, right? But when you're in the sunken place, you're more on the darker side of spirituality. You know what I mean? That's when you get into your darker energies, Whoa. Y'all saw that? Y'all saw that? I don't know. Maybe it's just a reflection on the phone. But yeah, I think it's just a reflection on the phone. But that's so weird. That's weird nonetheless. I'm already creeped out. I shouldn't be doing this late at night. Oh, here we go. This is a better representation. I don't know if y'all can see that really clearly. This is the tree of life. This is the clipothic tree. This is what this is representing to me. I know that was a whole lot to say a whole little. But anyway, this is what I see. And this is what reminds me of the sunken place. Okay? Because, oh my God, there's another book. There's a book that I actually have that I haven't got into. But people think it's like a very controversial book, and they don't know. Like, some people say the entities in this book are real. Some people don't think the entities in this book are real. Like, it just depends on where you go. Oh my God, what is the name of that book? Oh my God. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on, y'all. Uh, um, I don't think it's a comic book about the underworld. No. Oh my God, I want to say it starts with the C. Cliff, clip. Um, clip, clip. Um, Let me see. That could be real. Let me see. Oh my gosh, this is really gonna bug me. Oh my goodness, y'all, this is really gonna bug me to death if I don't find I don't know. But if anybody knows, what kind of book I'm talking about. It's a legit book, and it has like entities in it that are not like super well known, but they're like on the darkest of dark, like deep dark entities. And some people think that this book has some truth to it, and some people don't. But I wish, oh my god, like if I find the book, and I have it, I just haven't read it. Once I look for it, if I find the title, I'm gonna leave it down in the description box or the comment section, so y'all could like take a look at that if y'all want to. So we're gonna let me see, how long have I been talking about this? I don't know, how long have we been? Ooh, 40 minutes. I don't know, y'all. Maybe we'll pull a few tarot cards and we're gonna call it, because I gotta take me a cleansing bath after doing all these like little readings and stuff. This has been an interesting talk. I hope y'all enjoyed it. This is definitely something different that I've never done before, but I guess there's something new. You learn something new, do something new all the time. Expand your perception and ability on things. All right, Spirit, give me a few tarot cards about the Sunken Place. What can you tell us about the Sunken Place? Give me like 5 more. I'll take like 5 more tarot cards about the Sunken Place. Oh, 2 of Pentacles. Imbalance. Like, this is a place where I feel like the Sunken Place is a place where you don't have no emotional stability, no emotional fulfillment. Look at that. 5 of Cups. Super sad. Like, the Sunken Place is, I feel like in order to feel human, emotions are a big part of feeling human. And I feel like to be in the Sunken Place, you have good emotions and you have not bad emotions, but sad emotions. Like, there's a scale. But I feel like being in the Sunken Place brings out some really sad, deep, dark, like emotions, like in a deep, dark, emotional place where there is no stability. Everything feels very like overwhelming. Like, it's almost like being at sea, being in a storm, almost like drowning almost, but not necessarily all the way drowning. Like, I don't know if you, okay, this is a whole lot, but like, it's almost, in my head, I'm seeing like somebody like drowning, but like trying to come up for air, but then drowning again and then trying to come up for air. It's like that constant struggle. I feel like that's what being in the Sunken Place is like. And with the 9 of Cups in reverse, this is like emotional fulfillment when it's upright, but in the reverse, there is no emotional fulfillment. You know what I mean? And you're constantly, usually, like 5 of Cups, like to me, you're constantly looking for what's up here, what's been spilt. And when you're in that Sunken Place, like, it's a constant longing of who you were. It's a constant longing of, and okay, you know what else I'm getting? Like, if you lived a life where you don't have a lot of good memories, I feel like that place, that Sunken Place, that's where all like the not so good memories are. And being in that place, you relive those memories that aren't so good. You know what I mean? Because you're at such a low level. All right, I don't know. Oh my God, isn't that so cool? Wee! I'm a little creep. But anyway, there's a death card. You know what I mean? That is like, there's that death card coming close, coming like this close to death, but almost like, oh my gosh. I'm like thinking of like this cartoon, but I don't know if I'm getting it right. I don't know if it was in Aladdin or whatever it is, but I wish I knew like like what movie I can put to this or what I'm thinking. I have it in my head, but anyway, this is almost like I could feel like life going out in one breath and another life coming in another breath. That's what this shows up to me as. That is, whew, this reading. And then the Five of Swords. You remember her? In the this is the Queen of Hearts. I don't know. I think she's a Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland. But she's like legitimately, she don't play no games. She's like off with their heads. Off with their heads. And you remember those other cards that we had that came out? Let me see. These two. This is like definitely the energy that I'm picking up with this. Like legitimately off with their heads. Or like into their heads, into their head space. You know what I mean? Into their mental space. That's the only way that any of this works, is to be in that mental space. I didn't really want this to be as long as it is. Oh, let's see. 2 more cards and I'm about to call it quits. Spirit, do you guys have anything else to say? Oh. The Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands. This is definitely like, gives me like shapeshifter energy. You know what I mean? I feel like this queen, she keeps this cat around because she can either be a cat or she can be her human form. And I feel like that's another form of being in a sunken place, is like being able to shape shift. And that's like to me, that can also be like a bending of like consciousness. And here, there's another card at the bottom of the deck. This is the Two of Swords, being in a stuck place. You know what I mean? This can also be the sign, an energy of, you know, the sunken place, being in a stuck place, not knowing where you're at, confusion, not knowing whether you're going or coming, not really knowing who you are as a person. That to me speaks like being in a sunken place. Okay, another card at the bottom of the deck, the Judgment card. Okay, and I feel like there's always a way out of the sunken place. You know what I mean? But I feel like to get there, you would most definitely have to come to the light or come to some sort of enlightenment within yourself to regain your power back from being in that sunken place. Let's see. I'll pull one more card. Give me one more card, Spirit, about the sunken place, and we're going to end this reading. Anything that needs or wants to come out to end this reading about the sunken place. Too many cards. Too many cards. Too many cards. Ooh. Ooh. The Three of Swords. I think pure fucking sadness. Like, this is real sad energy. And I'm going to end this reading. That was, you know, that was the reading on the sunken place. Let me know what y'all think about that. How y'all like that. If y'all would like any more readings that are of that nature. But anyways, yeah. Don't forget to comment below, like, and subscribe. I will check y'all later.